It was on the 7th of May 2017, after making a port call at the naval dockyard in Lagos. More than 400 Nigerians were enthralled with the splendor at the unveiling of Nigeria's two newest warships, the NNS Unity and the NNS Centenary, as part of programs making its 61st founding anniversary. This was the first time Nigeria was acquiring a tier-rubber naval vessel since the acquisition of the Meko-class frigate NNS Aradu in 1983. And this was the first time Nigeria was acquiring its very first two Stealthy warships. The Navy opened the stealth patrol vessels to the viewing pleasure of boarders inclusive of children and adults, sailing 15 nautical miles away from the breakwaters. The NNS Unity, one of the two stealthy ships that was purchased for the Nigerian Navy, turns out at 1,500 tons. It fills the capability gap of the Nigerian Navy for a cost-effective vessel suited for both littoral duties and patrol escort and protective of Nigeria's EEZ maritime interests within 200 nautical miles, freeing up Nigeria's two biggest warships, the NNS Thunder and NNS Okwabana, to range high-endurance open sea deployment. The two stealthy ships were all built for long endurance. They stand out as the only vessels in Africa capable of circumventing the continent without needing to refuel. Ships like these can be called upon to patrol the West African coast and, if properly armed, can carry out operations as far as the Pacific. Both stealthy ships were produced and delivered by the Chinese government. After completing sea trials, it stands out as the first patrol ship China has exported to West Africa. Designed by Wuchang Shipbuilding Industry Group, this type of offshore patrol vessel is very suitable for Nigerian Navy to use while conducting missions against pirate and local terrorist groups. With the F-91 and its sister ship, Nigeria can also strengthen the defense of its offshore oil fields. According to sources, the price of the vessels was between 65% to 75% the cost of a patrol vessel from Western nations. The NNS Century, which stands out as the second patrol stealthy ship that was actually purchased from China, is 95 meters long and it is equipped with two diesel master engines. It has a top speed of about 40 km per hour. The Centenary is equipped with one 76mm gun and two 30mm guns, with the capability to carry 70 crew members and a helicopter aboard. The 1,800-ton stealthy ship is fitted with a radar detection area of a ship of about 500 tons. It can be discovered only when it is very close to the radar of an enemy. Its major missions include patrol and guide duties along the coastlines, protecting the exclusive maritime economic areas, carrying out marine search and rescues, and preventing marine pollution. Both ships' radar stealthy design is such that it can only be detected when it is very close to an enemy radar. Detection beyond a certain distance from radar is impossible. Nigeria paid $42 million to purchase the two 1,800-ton patrol ships from China. It paid an additional $6.5 million to buy helicopters and replacement parts for the two vessels. The deal was made back in 2010 during the African Aerospace and Defense Exhibition. Nigeria becomes the first nation in West Africa to operate a warship with stealthy capabilities, enhancing Nigeria's naval superiority in Africa. Compared to the Nigerian Army and Air Force, the Nigerian Navy before now had received little investment in the past decade compared to other branches of the Nigerian military. No surprise, since the Nigerian Army and Air Force bears the brunt of the Boko Haram insurgency. The Nigerian Navy stands out as one of the largest and most powerful and well-equipped blue water navy in Africa. In West Africa, the Nigerian Navy is in a league of its own, with more tonnage than the combined navies of all ECOWAS member states combined. The Nigerian Navy before now operates the former Coast Guard cutter Chase, now NNS Thunder and NNS Okpana. As an excess defense article, the Coast Guard High Endurance Cutters was transferred to Nigeria in March 2011 with estimated value of $7 million. This was before it purchased its two stealthy ships from China. Maintaining naval infrastructure of that size and scope is no easy task. As a result, the most powerful ships at the time of the Nigerian Navy, NNS Aradu and the three combatant missile craft, had fallen short into disrepair and sit moribund. Navies are notoriously expensive to run. In this regard, Nigeria has discarded outlandish and empirical concepts such as the fielding of an expeditionary blue water navy in a region with virtually no near-peer competitor. Instead, Nigeria has in the last years focused on smaller but formidable stealth offshore patrol vessels and inshore fast attack craft designed to satisfy the urgent requirement for shallow draft vessels to operate in littoral or coastal waters to counter growing asymmetric threat of militants and pirates, and the potential of these groups to carry explosive and terrorists on small and fast armed boats. Strengthening its military capabilities, Nigeria paid particular attention to improving security in the Niger Delta and off its 780 km long coastline, where it has notorious oil installations. In March 2007, it signed a $73 million contract for two ATRO-42MP maritime patrol aircraft to join its Donia 128. The first ATRO was delivered in December 2009 and the second was delivered in March 2010. In early 2016, the Nigerian Navy inaugurated the Falcon Eye maritime surveillance system. This was a welcome development, as the Nigerian Navy's limited number of patrol vessels were stretched too thin to effectively police the waters of the Nigeria's EEZ effectively. The Falcon Eye stands out as a high-tech mass surveillance system designed in Israel but manufactured by the United Arab Emirates-based Falcon Eye technology. The Falcon uses a number of electro-optic systems and cameras operated from a command center to detect and pinpoint movements. As earlier noted, the Nigerian Navy is the largest navy in sub-Saharan Africa in terms of personnel and second only to South African Navy in terms of tonnage. The Nigerian Navy has more tonnage than the combined navies of East and West African countries combined. The fleet consists of more than 110 ships in active services, consisting of 4 frigates and 93 patrol craft. Nigeria boasts of the NNS Thunder, which is the ship with the longest endurance in Africa, able to circumvent the continent without needing to refuel and sailing as far out as Australia. The only warship in Africa to have ventured so far from its home port, with the largest coastal patrol craft fleet in Africa that slithers around hundreds of creeks in the Niger Delta and the Gulf of Guinea. Perhaps the biggest props to the Nigerian Navy is its merchant marine with a strength of about 600 ships. With this military might, the Nigerian Navy stands out as one of the dreaded and best navies in Africa. Hopefully, the Nigerian government sees to the purchase of a submarine to add to the fleet of the Nigerian Navy and maybe an aircraft carrier that would actually make it a world-class navy. Guys, do well to drop your honest comment, tell us what you think, don't forget to subscribe and share. Thank you.